What are the laws about conducting telehealth sessions across state lines? For example, if I'm licensed in one state, can I provide service for a client in another state? This comes from Lauren Eng, LCSW.
All right, I agree with you, Ben. This is a huge one. What I will say is you have to contact each and every state if you are considering this. So there are some exceptions. We cannot just blanketly say, because I'm licensed in that state, but I'm located somewhere else, I can just do it. Like, we can't make those decisions for ourselves. And even though some states have exceptions for it, I really have clinicians think about first, what's your knowledge of that area that client is in, right? So it's part of our transitioning into our safety planning and our emergency management plan if it was ever to be needed. And so right now, like, there's plenty of states where you're able to work with people, yeah, and you have a temporary license there, but then that also gives you the extra responsibility of where each and every community that client comes from in another state, you have to know, like, what are the emergency, the closest hospital, like what are any community resources that are in the area, right? So that puts some more responsibility on the clinician to inform themselves, because we never know what place a client might be in. So to answer the question, like, if you're licensed in one state, can you provide service to a client in another state? If you are licensed there or temporarily licensed there, or get some communication in writing from the board in that state that there is some allowance, then yes. But then you also have the additional responsibility of making sure that you're informed of any resources that client might need in an emergency situation from where they're located to.
I will just add here briefly that I think there's been a fair amount of misunderstanding of one of the federal emergency orders or executive orders in the midst of all the coronavirus stuff. There was an executive order related to Medicare, basically allowing people to conduct Medicare services. I think the phrasing was without geographic barriers. I think it's important for folks to hold in mind that is not carte blanche for therapists to practice with anyone, anywhere, anytime, that it really was an exception specific to the Medicare population, and it doesn't really impact services beyond that. So that's also one of those areas that's definitely going to be a moving target as states sort of reopen at their own paces and orders that might have allowed temporary out-of-state practice start to expire. Again, I could talk about that stuff all day, but let's go to Tricia Chan, MFT, who asks,